Okay, so folks, this is probably going to be the most important chart I'll probably show you in the next month or in the past month. This could potentially be huge. This is the number of Bitcoins that has been spent that are 7 to 10 years old. So as usual, this is Pablo He-Man. I'm talking to my Discord, coming to you not from the beach this time, but from a magical sunset on the hinterlands. And yeah, that's where Chris Hemsworth lives. Byron Bay, just down there. Okay, now enough of that. So first, let's dive into basically Bitcoins. This is an emergency broadcast to my Discord friends, and basically, let's check this out. See, what is happening here is this is a Bitcoin spent output age band. When a Bitcoin spent, it means when it is mined, it hasn't been moved yet. This has been moved for the first time, and you can see here there's 0 to 1 day, 1 day to 1 week, 6 months to 12 months, all these 3 to 5 years, 5 to 7 years, 7 to 10 years, and this is what this is the 7 to 10 years signal. So how many Bitcoins has been spent or has been moved? They call that spent, has been moved in a in that are 7 to 10 years old. Now that would put Bitcoin at an age of 2015 to 2012. So 2015 to 2012. Let's see what the reason why I'm asking for this is because now we can see how cheap these people got their Bitcoins and how many Bitcoins they had. So let's say this is the which we're looking at. Okay, Bitcoin, come on. Come on. Okay, because I'm standing outside. The internet isn't fantastic. Come on. Okay, let's see. BTC USD, Bitstamp. So imagine the prices they would have got around, say, 2012 and 2015. Okay, let's use the weekly chart. We'll move this to... Okay, let's just go straight to monthly. One sec. Okay, so the Bitcoins we're looking at are being sold are anywhere priced between $200. See, that's 2015 to 2012. 2012. May 2012. What's the price here? $5. Okay, so in that period, Bitcoin went from $5, $4 to $1,100 down to $200. Essentially, it was really cheap, and someone has bought just a truckload of those Bitcoins. These are Bitcoin whales because back then it didn't take much for you to be a Bitcoin whale. So here, what we're looking at is someone sold. That's 10K. That's 2.5, 5.5, 7.5, 10K. That's 12.5. So I would say this is probably about 11,000 Bitcoins sold in, I think that's 1 day or 3 days, whatever it is. It's a very short period of time. So what that means is this person has hodled 11,000 Bitcoins. Let's assume he bought it for like $5 or $10. So 11,000 of them Bitcoins would have been $110,000. He probably spent something like $120,000, $200,000, $300,000 and owned 11,000 Bitcoins. And he's hodled it for 10 years or 8 years or whatever it is. And he suddenly just sold it like yesterday. Now, we're wondering, does this signal work? This is the last time. Don't look at these small spikes. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. Look at these outliers. Look at when there's a massive spike. Okay, for example, look at every time when there's 5,000 Bitcoins sold in one hit, in like 1 day or 2 days. It happened here. That marked the exact top of the 2018, 2017 bull run. And then we went into a bear market. In 2020, there was about 7,000 Bitcoins, 6.5 that was sold in one hit, and it marked the drop just before the COVID hit. And then basically there was a massive sell in January 2021, and the market went down. And here it rebounded. You know why it rebounded here? This place right there, February 2022, like Feb 25th or something, was the exact date when Elon Musk said he will now basically let Tesla has bought $1.5 billion worth of Bitcoin. So then Bitcoin price doubled again. It was pure euphoria, pure irrationality. And, so that signal didn't quite work all that well. But if you sold here, it wasn't too far away from the top. Then you had another signal over 5K. So two of those. Then if you sold somewhere around here, you would have you'd be spot on. That's about as well as you can time it. Then you had a third signal, basically telling you to sell around this period. But keep in mind, the market didn't top till about a month later. It still kept on going up a little bit, and it actually in fact doubled after this first signal came out. And now, after this rebound to 48K, as I have been saying, I'm sure a lot of you have seen the chart I have drawn. Let's see. The chart I have drawn is basically this one. Come on. Let's see. The chart I have drawn, as many of you have seen, is basically for a bounce up there, rejected around the blue trend line here, or maybe even get up to here around 52, and then pull back, right? Bounce off this blue line, maybe go up again, or maybe break down to about 30.28. Many of you have seen that chart that I've shown a lot. And the reason, it's not because I knew this thing was coming, but this certainly helps back up my theory. So what I'm saying is, it has, if you look at signals that are quite significant, that are over 5K, they work pretty well. They tell you within 1 or 2 months, or maybe even 3 months, of when a big top is coming. It worked here, it worked here, it kind of worked here, and now it's here again. It fits with the theory of why it would be topping, because from a fundamental point of view, it's like the Fed is going to start QTing, which is quantitative tightening. I've explained it in previous videos. Have a look, guys, of what quantitative tightening is. It's the opposite of QE. Now, I don't want people to panic and say, oh, okay, we need to sell 100% everything today. What I'm doing personally, this is not financial advice, this is an educational forum. What I'm doing personally is I'm selling some, take some profits, and then the rest I'm going to put stop losses there, if I have not put stop losses there already. So be prepared that it could go down, and go down hard, but just know that it may not be 100% accurate. Because why? Because the signal has only fired once, twice, 3 times. 3 out of 3, not bad. And even if you say this one, right, were not that accurate, even though I would consider this one to be quite accurate, because if you got the signal here and sold anywhere around here, that's a pretty damn good sell. Just keep in mind though, that you're trading alts, not Bitcoin. So say if you got the signal here, between January 2021 to see here, the real top, April 2021, alts actually made some massive runs around here. So altcoins in the next 3 months, let's say if this is repeated again, Bitcoin can, this signal is coming at roughly the same place. Bitcoin can actually go to 60K again, and then take another 2 months up there, maybe even break into a new all-time high by like 1 or 2K, go to, rather than 69K, go to 70, 71K, and then come down. And if that happened, altcoins would like double, triple, quadruple, whatever. So I'm just saying that if you're a whale, this is a very useful signal. You need to start getting out now if you're a whale, and you need to sell like, 10,000 Bitcoins and 200,000 Ethereums or whatever. But however, if you're not a whale, just know that this signal has fired already, and just know that use stop losses, be careful of what could come, and just keep in mind that if you, in this instance, that was the exact top. In this instance, that was the exact top. In this instance, it wasn't. But as I said, that's because right around here, Elon Musk, right around January, right around Feb 20th or something, Feb 22nd, Elon Musk around here came out and said, I'm buying, Tesla's buying a lot of Bitcoin. So it doubled again. So this signal almost worked exactly again. But because nothing is 100%, What could happen is, as I said, Bitcoin can still keep on going up and then top, like when we have 1, 2, 3 signals, and then top, and then come down. Whilst it's doing that, during this time, altcoins actually went crazy. This is when Ethereum went from 2,000, something like 1,800, all the way up to 4,400. So it can still have a massive, massive altcoin run. Just be careful of that. But this signal, don't take it lightly, because it is the largest signal ever. It is, see, compared to this one, compared to that one, it's the largest signal ever. There's like 11,000 Bitcoin sold in 1 or 2 days. This would tell me that a top is probably within the next. If a top doesn't come, like here, when I fired, a top instantly came, like within a day or 3 days. Here, it went on for another 2 or 3 months and actually had a big alt season. So it provided someone like Elon Musk comes out and says, where Tesla is accepting Bitcoins. So it's not a very precise timing tool, but just keep in mind that this is it's a pretty big deal. To me, it is a pretty big deal, but we can still have a pretty big alt season after this. I mean, I would just say use stop losses, guys. Don't go all in. Spread out your risks. I would personally, put some cash aside. I would also put some bets on commodities, gold, agriculture. Spread out my risks, and yeah, it's. If anything, I think this is the last dance on the Titanic, as in the iceberg has already been hit. Water's flooding in, but it's only the lower levels. If you've seen the movie, the dancing hall, the rich people where they live, the flood hasn't come in yet, but it's going to get pretty bad in due time. So be careful, guys. I hope you understand what I said. Okay, thank you for your time, and